If you Georgia Bulldogs, you're gonna feel the bulldog.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Row 60, a Georgia football podcast. My name is Clark Gaines. Joining me today, as always, Adam Thornton.
Boom!
Big boom, big week. Episode number 123. Welcome in, everybody, to Row 60. This is going to be a great show. We got a lot of stuff for you. It is hate week. We hate Auburn.
Auburn hate week, man. Traditional rivalry. Deep South's oldest rivalry game, Clark. I'm fired up about it. Going to Jordan-Hare Stadium, a place that Georgia has had a lot of success the past few years, man. And one in particular, and since back about 12 years ago, where it was a nightmare of a situation. But outside of that, man, that's the last time that outside of 2017, that was a bad game as well. But since 19, 21, 23, 3 straight wins in Jordan-Hare Stadium for Georgia, man.
Yeah.
So, golly, going back to, I guess you got the statistics here as we go on through the episode of how many games Georgia's beat Auburn here and this millennium. It's just been a quarter century now of just dominance.
Yeah. And it always hasn't been that way. I mean, leading up into the 2000s, like, this was a very back-and-forth rivalry. It kind of still has been to some extent. But, yeah, I mean, the past decade or really past 15, 20 years, it's been pretty lopsided in favor of Georgia, which is always a good thing. When you have a rivalry that is in favor of Georgia, it's never a bad thing, folks.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
But yeah, we have we hope to continue that success this Saturday as Georgia takes on Auburn. Huge game right here, Adam. 7:30 ABC. Not necessarily the college game day, game of the week thing or whatever, but it is still prime time. And I think a lot of people will be watching this game because there was a lot of preseason talk about this one specifically. Obviously, they're retiring Cam Newton's jersey this Saturday. They are kind of bringing out all the stops. They're doing an orange out. Ooh. So, Adam, I know we sat on these mics probably, 2 months ago, and we talked about this game specifically.
Yeah.
Neither of us felt good about it. Has your feeling changed at all? Without giving too much away.
I still got a kind of a uneasy feeling about this football game, not necessarily because I think Auburn is a great football team. I think they have two respectable losses, if you want to call it that, right, against very tough SEC opponents who are right now in the upper tier of the league. And both of them are undefeated, and they lost very close games on the road at both of those venues, man. So, I mean, it's one of those deals also where it just kind of felt like, God, we're due to lose one to them. And hate to say it like that, due to drop one Jordan-Hare night game, even though the last time we kicked off at Jordan-Hare Stadium at night was in 2012 and beat them 38-0. Yeah. So beat them like a drum then. So, I mean, I would love nothing more than a repeat of that. But, yeah, I mean, ever since last spring or whenever I heard the kickoff time announced in this past summer, I've just kind of had an uneasy feeling about this game just because of college football being what college football is and how tough it is to go on the road and win the SEC, especially a rivalry game, especially a team who is due to get you, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I still feel uneasy too. I think that's the best word to use to describe this situation that we're about to walk into. It's never fun going into that stadium. Jordan-Hare. I think the official pronunciation is Jordan. But we're going to say Jordan just because just because it rubs them the wrong way over there. But my thing is, why would you spell it Jordan and not expect people to say Jordan?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's stupid. Anyway. This episode is full of Auburn hate. We hate Auburn. We're going to talk a little history on this episode, break down Georgia's offense, defense versus Auburn, what that might look like, what we expect from each unit. We're going to dive into some Week 7 games, folks. There's a lot of really good football on other than Georgia-Auburn this week, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And then, that kind of wraps up the episode. We'll have some score predictions at the very end. So let's just dive right into this. Adam, this is, as you said, Deep South's oldest rivalry. Not the South's oldest rivalry.
Yes, that's Virginia, North Carolina.
Right. There you go. I didn't doubt you there. Of course you know that. But, yeah, this is the 130th edition. A lot of matchups between these two schools, Georgia and Auburn. Georgia is 65, 56, and 8 all time. So that's always a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when this rivalry was tied. The all-time series was tied, and it didn't seem like it was that long ago. But now Georgia has a commanding, what'd you say, 9-game lead in it, and that's just been. Over the last decade and a half, the 15 years, I'd say, is when that is really just Georgia separated itself that much, or maybe 20 years or so. And I'd say since Auburn in 2005, when they beat Georgia in Athens, DJ Shockley team right there on a 4th and 9 catch, and that they scored a touchdown on, beat Georgia late in that game is disappointing. But ever since that night in Athens, man, I feel like Georgia has just dominated this series.
Yeah. Georgia is currently on a 8-game win streak. Hopefully, we make it 9. I think the series record is 9 games. Georgia holds that. That was sometime in maybe the 1930s or 40s. Yeah. It's been a long time since we've beaten Auburn 9 straight times. That's just crazy to think about. Dating back to that SEC championship game in 2017. Adam, we posted a video this past week. I'm sure most of y'all saw that. If you're following on Instagram, you need to follow us on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, wherever you're at.
Yeah, and send it to Auburn if you have an Auburn friend somehow. I don't know if you do or not, but if you do just somehow have an Auburn friend, just go ahead and send them that video.
Yeah, well, I was talking about your video.
Okay, yeah.
The 3 favorite plays. Well, we posted several different videos this week, but that one is what I want to talk about right quick. Go with us here. You know your history. You're a Georgia football aficionado, encyclopedia. Open up the encyclopedia. Give us a little breakdown on this series, some of your favorite moments. Let's kind of stick to those 3 moments that you touched on because obviously there's been lots of different ones we could pull out. But
yeah. I mean, pre me remembering college football, you have look at the sugar falling out of the sky, the 82 game where Georgia clinched the Sugar Bowl berth, its 3rd straight Sugar Bowl berth. You have the Between the Hoses game. I believe that was in 86 maybe, where Georgia fans stormed the field, and to get them off the field, they had to turn on the sprinklers or water hose, to get them off. And then, I mean, there was just several. 96 was the first overtime game in SEC history. Mike Bobo.
Yep.
The guy Mike Bobo was quarterback then. Corey Allen caught a ball there at the end of regulation to put it in overtime. And Larry Munson, classic calls that game. I've gone back and watched that. But the ones I would reference were the ones that I really remember, am old enough to remember, is the 2002 game to David Green to Michael Johnson. That clinched the SEC East for Georgia. It was 4th and 15, ball on the 19-yard line, and it was a 19-yard touchdown pass on 4th and 15, right in the back of the corner. And Michael Johnson, he went up over a defender and caught it, and just an amazing win right there, a miracle. A miracle. Munson, great call. If you've never heard Larry Munson's call of that play right there, you need to go back and see it. The Trey Battle game I referenced was a 37-15 win, Matt Stafford's freshman year in Auburn, when Auburn was number 5. Georgia was unranked. Georgia had lost to Kentucky and Vanderbilt that year. Just not a good year of Georgia football, but they got hot there at the end. And they dominated Auburn, 37-15. Nobody saw it coming. Trey Battle, one of my favorite all-time Georgia players, got 3 interceptions and a pick 6 that game. So I think just even though that didn't catapult Georgia to an SEC championship or anything, Clark, that win right there was just so unexpected, especially to dominate a top 5 Auburn team. And just I still remember to this day, I was 13 years old, just the look of shock on Auburn fans' faces and Tommy Tuberville's face that Georgia came in there that day and beat them like that, man. And it was one of Stafford's first kind of coming out parties, and it was a great overcast November day in Jordan-Hare Stadium. I want to say it was November 11th, 2006.
God. The fact that you can even remember it was in November is just fascinating.
Yeah, I don't know about the date. I think it was November 11th. I could be wrong on that. Could be off a day or two. But, yeah, then, of course, the SEC championship, and both me and you just very fond of that one, man. Beating Auburn in Atlanta for SEC championships, absolutely monstrous. A dream that we've, wish that we – for a long time could see, and then we finally got to see it come to fruition, especially that let Georgia go on to have a playoff berth, first 14 playoff berth Georgia had received there, and went on to go to the national championship that year too. So special night in Atlanta.
Obviously, the blackout, that was another.
Yes.
There's several plays from that game specifically. I think back to that Stafford to Muhammad Massaquoi, just deep route there, touchdown. That was beautiful. You were at that game. Tell us a little bit about the blackout.
Oh, the blackout, man. I was still sitting in row 60. Somebody had some binoculars, and I mean the whole hype that week. And this is before Twitter was big or anything like that. Facebook, nothing. It was just message boards, and message boards. People kind of speculating. Yeah, the fans are going to wear black, but I mean Georgia's never come out in black jerseys before. Right. Can you even pull that off? This close to the game coming up and everything, and kind of people. I think at that point in time, kind of it was a. afterthought in my opinion that they come out in black. Maybe not, but just wishful thinking, right? So, right. They used to come out on the opposite side of the stadium that they do now. Mm-hmm. So they used to come out in the opposite end zone than you see them come out of now. So, and they were more in a tunnel there. So somebody beside me had binoculars. She said, they're in black. About that time, they just busted through that banner in black. Man, that place went insane. One of the loudest I've heard Sanford Stadium. The Soldier Boy game, no Sean Marino, Matt Stafford, 45-24, just beat down, or excuse me, 45-20 beat down of Auburn, and it was a great game. I mean, that was the year after the 06 win I just referenced, and coming at home doing that. A team in 07 that lost 2 early games, but got very hot at the end of the year, won a Sugar Bowl, barely missed going to the SEC championship. But if there was a playoff at that point in time in 07, I think Georgia definitely would have won it because nobody was playing better football at the end of the year than that 2007 Georgia team on both sides.
They were hot for sure. I think back to that, there's 2 games I love specifically back-to-back, 11 and 12. 11, we absolutely steamrolled them at home in Sanford. That was an interesting year. You know, we started the year off 0-2, and then we rallied. We had a big win over Auburn coming in. Were they ranked that game or no? Am I just dreaming?
I don't know if they were or not. If they were, they were very – I don't think they were.
I don't think you're right. Because that was coming off the 2010 season for them. That was their national championship, obviously. The cupboard was kind of bare at that point. I mean, they still had some good players and everything, that 2011 game. But they were missing, obviously, Cam Newton, Nick Fairley, guys like that.
Yeah.
But we stomped them. And one of my favorite plays.
45-7.
Yeah, that Bakari Rambo pick 6. Man, that was beautiful.
That was my freshman year at Georgia, and I remember being so mad about the 2010 game, the antics that happened in Jordan-Hare Stadium with Nick Fairley. I mean, Aaron Murray was a guy who lost some heartbreakers to Auburn, but had 2 big wins in 11 and 12. You just referenced Clark, but really just got beat up left. I mean, especially when we played over there at Auburn. He had to play there 3 times. Started 3 games at Auburn in 4 years, and he left his heart out on the field. I think of the 13, the prayer Jordan-Hare, the drive that he had that gets overshadowed because of that unfortunate event, to come back in that fourth quarter comeback, man, and that 4th and goal, that 4th down run on the goal line right there to get over. Of course, in 2010, he was just beat up, cheap shot after cheap shot by Nick Fairley. So that revenge game in 11, Clark, yes, was very special because you had to stew on what happened in Jordan-Hare in 2010 for a whole year, and then it was just let loose in Athens that afternoon. And I just remember just the pure jubilation of not only beating them, because we were just wanting, but smoking them. Embarrassing them. Great YouTube video on that game. I think it's called Redemption or Revenge. Georgia Auburn 2011. Go back and watch that. Especially if you don't remember that football game, because that's a thrill right there.
Yeah, it is.
That's a good one.
And then the next year was even more thrilling.
Better, baby.
We went back to Jordan-Hare, whatever. In 2012, they were horrible. We knew it going into that game that we were going to go in and steamroll them, and we did. It was right before the SEC championship.
Yeah.
Obviously, we played Tech the week after that, but yeah, I mean, ended SEC play with a huge. I don't remember the score to that. I know it was a shutout.
38-0.
38-0.
Yeah, 38-0.
And I remember just being in that stadium. Second half, 2012. It's dark. That was a night game. It was dark outside, obviously, and you and I, we had started up in the upper deck, but then about halftime, there were plenty of seats all around that stadium. So me and Adam, we go to the very front row, right there in the end zone. After the game, Alec Ogletree, Aaron Murray. You
got to share that picture, Aaron Murray. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, there's a really good picture. I don't know who took it. I think it's some journalist. Took a picture of me and Adam high-fiving Aaron Murray. This was back when it was acceptable for us to be down there and acting crazy. I mean, because we were still younger at that point. But not to say you can't do that. I mean, by all means, if you want to go high-five a guy, whatever.
Absolutely.
But I don't know. I think it's just more generally accepted if you're kids, whatever. Anyway, that was a really great time. We're going to have to share that with our patrons. There's a great video I might have to dig out.
You need to go post that thing. That's a good one. That's a good one right there. But fun. Great memory right there. 2 good ones right there. Man, 2014 was good too, Clark.
It was. God,
that was 38-7, wasn't it?
Or 34-7?
Look that one up real quick, if you don't mind. Just 2014 Georgia Auburn score. But it was another just blowout of Gus Malzahn. Night game in Athens, man.
34-7.
34-7, that's right. So, yes, that was a fun one too. That was a real good one. So, I mean, man, just the memories we've had. Kirby's first year.
16.
Upsetting a top 10 Auburn team like that. Maurice Smith's pick 6.
Yeah.
That was the highlight of Kirby's first season, you know. and great win there. So
Yeah.
Then of course 17, you get your redemption. You go to Jordan-Hare and just get smacked. That stadium was so loud that day. Jordan-Hare gets rocking.
It
man.
does, man.
It does. 2004 was probably the loudest I ever heard it. When I thought Reggie Brown got killed.
Hospitalized. Yeah, that was a big hit.
Yeah.
Jeez,
and Auburn was undefeated and wound up going undefeated that year. But, yeah, I mean, 04 and 17, I think, were the most, even though you had the 13 deal there at the end, but as far as just the duration of the game, 04 and 17 was the loudest I've ever heard it. But get redemption in the SEC championship.
Yeah.
Love it. I can talk about it all night.
Me too.
I can talk about that 2017 SEC championship game all night.
Me too.
Just the lead up to that, Clark. I mean, you were with the team then. Just real quick, I got to touch on that.
Yeah.
Because I remember that week, because you knew if you won it, you were going to the playoffs.
Right.
And that's something that we had dreamed about as Georgia fans, right? And it had been such an unexpected, magical season up in that point until the Auburn game. And then, I mean, this was literally like 3 weeks later. We had played them 3 weeks before, and you had to go play them again, and it wasn't close. For people who weren't following at the time or don't remember this game, that game at Jordan-Hare was not close.
It was
but
ugly.
Anything that could go wrong went wrong that day. I mean, Georgia just walked into a buzzsaw that day. And great defensive front they had there. Kerryon Johnson ran all over us, and you just thought, oh, man, can we even compete with them 3 weeks later? But that just shows, man, college football any given Saturday, what can happen. And then you change the venue up in 28-7. That defense, they gave up an opening touchdown drive. Auburn scored 7 on their first possession.
Off the script.
Because, I mean, everybody was thinking, oh, no. Then they drove down again, Clark. Well, didn't they drive down again and the block field goal happened?
Yes,
That's what swung
yes,
it off.
yes.
Because they were driving to go up 14-0. But here we go again. But Davin Bellamy and or Lorenzo Carter, did he block that one too, or it was Bellamy?
Could have. Yeah, I don't know.
I can't.
One
I
or
need to
the
go
other.
back and rewatch that game this week.
That's everybody's homework.
Everybody's homework. Yep.
Go back and watch 2017 SEC Championship game.
Yes.
That was an
Love it.
awesome game. Yeah, I mean, there's well, obviously we could go on and on and on about these games. A lot of really, really good matchups. And I honestly, I don't expect Saturday to be anything less. I think it is going to be a war. It's going to be a close game. As much as I don't want it to be, I wish we could go in there and steamroll them.
Yeah.
I think back to a couple of years ago, or 2021, we go in there, we handle business 38-10, something like that.
Yep.
I wish it'd be that way again.
Yeah.
But the last time we were in Jordan-Hare is what, 28-21, 28-20, 27-20? What was it?
Oh man, what was?
Does it matter? We're going to figure it out.
28 to 20.
think
Yeah, I
it's-
mean, God, that was
I think it's 27-20, right? Yeah, 27-20.
27-20. Yeah, so I mean that was a tie. 21 wasn't that close. We pulled away there, but 19 now was a showdown.
Yeah, it was.
And that was a November game with the time. Majority of that was at night. You know, the past couple we played there has been 3:30. Majority been during the day because we've played them starting in 2020 during the COVID year on. We had played them in October, right? Instead of the traditional where it's been since the good Lord created the game in November, and where I think the good Lord intended for the game to be played in middle of November. So, yeah, that 19 game was wild too, but tough place to play, man. And I'm nervous about it.
Yeah.
Very nervous about it. And but that's why we love SEC football, is to go to these type of venues and see what, when Georgia puts on them white tops and silver breeches in hostile environments, what they could do.
Yeah, that's
Some
why
of
you
my
come to
most favorite
Georgia.
memories, man, is winning on the road.
Me too. Yeah, Georgia. You got something
Now,
else?
remind me a little bit later on in the show, I got to bring up something that's a little bit off topic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Georgia is 19-12-2 in Jordan-Hare, but honestly, throw that stat out the window. It really doesn't matter this weekend. Georgia's going to have to play some good ball. Auburn this year, let's talk about them. This rendition of the Auburn Tigers under Hugh Freeze. I almost said Gus
Brother
Malzahn.
Hugh.
Yeah, brother
They
Hugh.
probably wish they still had Gus Malzahn.
Yeah.
Truth be known, I would if I was an Auburn fan.
Me too. Terrible move. Anyway, Auburn this year is 3-2. They are 0-2 in SEC play. They have wins over Baylor. They went on the road out there to Baylor and won 38-24 in Waco. Pretty impressive win. I think they ran the ball really, really well that day from what I remember. Then they came home, played Ball State and South Alabama. They won both of those games 42-3 and then 31-15 respectively. So, I mean, not a whole lot of not a great sample right there.
Right.
But then they go on the road to Oklahoma and then lose 24-17. If you guys watched that, and I know you did, Adam, they got hosed. Auburn 100% got hosed that game. Probably should have won it. I mean, a couple of calls go a different way. I don't see how they could have lost that game, but I don't know. What did happen that game too, though, 10 sacks. Auburn gave up 10 sacks. to Oklahoma's defense. Now, and I will say Oklahoma's defense is really, really good.
Especially the front, man.
Yeah.
God.
And yeah, they're insane. But they dropped that one, and then they went on the road to Texas A&M and lost that one 16-10. Also another war. So both games being a one-possession game there at the end. This Auburn team, you look at their record, 3-2, 0-2 in SEC play. You would think on paper, they're not that great. They're unranked.
Right.
And I think that's most people's opinion, most people's perspective. Most Georgia fans are looking at this that way. Auburn is a respectable opponent. They are much better than what their record says.
Great point, Clark. I mean, yeah, you look at 3-2 right now, 5 games in, you think, oh, man, this is a typical Auburn year, that they've had here lately since 2017. Really, 19, I guess, was the last time that they were really kind of in the national spotlight a little bit. Like, this is just typical. But no, you're exactly right. You look at those road games that they played and the two opponents, it wasn't bottom half SEC teams either that they got beat by. These are teams right now about at the halfway mark of the season, or a lot of people have them possibly going to Atlanta or playoff teams. And they went to the road, and like you said, Clark, one-possession games. I didn't watch the Texas A&M game because that was going on. Was it going on?
Georgia, Alabama.
Georgia, Alabama. Yeah, so didn't get to watch much of that game or any of it, really. But the Oklahoma game was Georgia's bye week, so I watched a good bit of it, man. And, yes, they were hosed on some calls, and very talented receiver group, and we knew that coming into the year. I mean, they spent a lot of NIL money on their receiver group and Jackson Arnold, and to give up 10 sacks like they did and still keep it a one-possession game, man. If they get some stuff cleaned up, then definitely a team that I think is desperate for a win against Georgia in wounded animal mode at night at their house. Georgia going on the road. It's a scary spot to be in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But they have to play us.
That's right.
We're the Georgia Bulldogs. They're battle-tested. I would be concerned if this were our first SEC road environment we've played in this year.
That's right.
Especially knowing how many young guys are on this roster for Georgia. But they have done that. They have gone on the road. They have battled adversity on the road.
Yeah.
They have come back from a pretty big deficit on the road, won a game, a very gritty win.
Yeah.
And so with that, I think there's something to be said, finding ways to win on the road. Now, Auburn, once again, they're a different animal, I would imagine, at home. They're not on the road themselves this week, obviously, but Georgia's on the road. Yeah. How are we going to fare against this really, honestly, pretty good Auburn team, and then all 2,000 of their fans, something like that. So it ought to be a really, really good test for your Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Let's start with Georgia's offense. Maybe talk about this matchup with their defense, what we expect to see from Gunnar Stockton, Mike Bobo, and the guys.
Dang right, baby. Mike Bobo going back to Opelika.
Yeah.
Where he spent a little bit of time.
He knows that place very well.
Oh, man. He was part of a rough experiment there with old Brian Harsin and Derek Mason.
Yeah.
That was a tough time on the plains for the family.
I don't feel bad for him.
No, for the family.
The cult. They're very cultish over there. Auburn and then A&M and Clemson. The three biggest cults in college football.
That's true.
Anyway,
great point.
Auburn's strength, just like Georgia's, Adam, is their run defense. When we're talking about Auburn's defense, their run defense is really freaking good. They only allow about 88 yards per game. Mm-hmm. Much like Georgia, I think Georgia might look something more like 82 yards per game. So a very, very stout Auburn defensive front. They do a really good job of getting pressure too. I want to say they have something like 17 sacks this season between all their guys. That doesn't seem like a lot, but through 5 games, it is.
Yeah, DJ Durkin, who's their defensive coordinator, a veteran DC, has been around the league for a little bit. I think was at Ole Miss for a little bit, was a head coach at Maryland at a time. I think he might have been at Florida too, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, a guy's been around a long time. He's really good at those exotic blitz packages, Clark. Just disguising some blitzes and everything, and especially against a quarterback like Gunnar Stockton making his first year starting. But like you said, I'm a whole lot more comfortable with because of the battle-tested guy that he's become here about the halfway point of the season, man. But he will definitely throw some looks at you that you hadn't seen and disguise a lot of stuff. And I think that's where a lot of their success as far as getting to the quarterback has come. And I think he's more. He'll throw some 3-3-5 out at you.
Oh, okay.
Throw a little 3-3-5 stack out at you.
Yeah.
So, he'll do that, and I think he'll come to, of course, a base 4-3 defense too. So I mean, you think of Auburn, you think of talented D linemen, right? Yeah. And I mean, I don't think this is the Derek Brown type group that they were accustomed to in that 17 type season or anything. And that doesn't mean anything come Saturday, but it just always seems like they have a respectable defensive front there year in and year out on the Plains.
Yeah. I think it's important this week more than ever. We got to stay ahead of schedule, especially on the road. Yeah. Just need positive plays. That's and one thing that I've seen a lot of, knock on wood here, this season, man, I mean, we find ways to at least make it back to the line of scrimmage in these busted plays and these plays where, we miss a block and there's a defensive lineman in the backfield or a linebacker on a blitz. I'm impressed by guys like Gunner, who – yeah, I mean, he's in the pocket. He might not see anything downfield, but he's going to take off and run. He gets yardage. We need that. We need Josh McCray on, a third and, or maybe not 3rd and 4. Let's say a 2nd and 4 or a 2nd and 6. Let's say a 2nd and 6. Josh McCray gets the ball. There's contact made at the line of scrimmage. He might go down, but let's try to get those 2-3 extra yards. Yeah. Those are going to be very, very meaningful in this game to stay ahead of schedule, get those third and manageable situations on the road and sustain drives. I'm going to be really concerned if I'm seeing a lot of tackles for loss for Georgia, a lot of sacks, which that's going to be interesting this week. We got potentially 2 freshmen starting at tackle.
Yeah, exactly. You're exactly right. Monroe Freeland, I think his injury is not as bad as originally thought in the sense of he's probably going to miss a couple of weeks. Kind of similar to Juan Gaston's injury that he had in the Austin Peay game, Clark. But he's going to be out this week. So you got, like you said, you have Bo Hewley, I think the redshirt sophomore, and then you got Juan Gaston's going to be at the other tackle, and then Glover at right guard, man, and they've done a heck of a job on the right side of the line. And I thought Bo Hewley has done very well where he's been asked to be plugged in this year, and I thought he did good when he came in for Monroe last week against Kentucky, man. So I'm excited to see 55 out there. I think this is an offensive line that is going to just gel and get even better as the season progresses. I know we've talked about that a lot here recently, but that's the viewpoint that we have of it, and I'm excited to see it, man. But you're right. I mean, you get these first year starting offensive linemen in a hostile environment, man, and the crowd that's going to be rocking. And I love the fact that Gunner Stockton, like you said, is elusive with his legs. That and if it's 2nd and 9 and he could avoid a sack that makes it 3rd and 12, and he could pick up 5 or 6 yards and make it a 3rd and 3, 3rd and manageable situation. That's going to be huge. It's going to be huge, man. And I think it's also going to be huge getting some perimeter blocking and being able to run the bubble screens and be able to get a quick 4 or 5 doing that as well. So, of course, though, one thing, though, I want to see Georgia do is to be, even if we're not running the ball as well as we have the past 2 weeks, I don't want us to abandon the run game early. Yeah. I still think that this team and this offensive line, and especially now that Chauncey Bowens, as he's gotten more comfortable kind of taking the bulk of the carries, right, and then also having Frazier there, and you mentioned McCray, is still be able to feed these guys, man, and see what happens. And I think some holes will open up in the second half, and you get more success on the ground, man, and you can run out that clock. And I just don't want to see us abandon the run if we don't have success with it early. And I think, though, that that's what I'm excited about. Is you mentioned Auburn is a very stout rush defense, but I like where Georgia's running game is right now, Clark, and it's going to be a good litmus test. Yeah. To see where we're at right now as far as that. But I want to stay balanced, man, and majority be able to pound the football and don't turn the ball over. You can't turn the ball over on the road and take that crowd out. I'd love to see Georgia get the ball first and drive right down the field and score, make 7-0.
It would be nice.
That'd be awesome, man.
Much like Alabama did to us.
Right. So, I mean, it'd be great to see that.
Yeah, the last time we were there, we turned the ball over, I think it was 3 times within our own maybe
sounds right
35. Yeah. When you turn the ball over 3 times within your own 35, like you're just begging the other team to win, and somehow we found a way to win. I don't want to get in that kind of position. And one of the worst things you can do on the road, or any game really, I mean, honestly, is turn the ball over. But especially when you go to a place like Jordan-Hare, man, the crowd just feeds into that. And I remember when we were there, it's almost like the crowd they're kind of lulled to sleep a little bit, and then the turnover happened, and they're all back on their feet.
It's boom. Such a big momentum swing when that happens, man. And then also when you have a busted play type deal and you get Peyton Thorne scramble for, 80 yards or whatever he did. So, I mean, a lot of weird stuff happened in 23, but that's the kind of stuff – exactly right, Clark. If you let happen Saturday night, you're going to lose football game with this team.
Yeah. And, I mean, that's not a knock to this team. I just don't think they're as talented. I mean, bottom line – well, let me rephrase that. They are very, very, very talented. Some spots I would say are equal to, if not better than the 23 team. But right now we are not as good of a team in terms of just consistent performance, consistent play. We're not as good as that 23 team right now. It's not saying we can't exceed that, but what are you?
You don't have a number 19 to bail you out.
Well, yeah, that's true.
You don't have Brock Bowers to bail you out and take over the fourth quarter.
100%. Yeah. You also don't have a guy like Tyke Smith, a guy like Javon Boyd. I mean, you got some pieces. Don't get me wrong. I feel really good with KJ and some of these dudes, but man, they're just you just can't do the same things that you did in 23 and expect to win this game. And a lot of that was turnovers. You can't get penalized this one, really. I mean, I expect there to be some. But, man, it makes me feel good. Like I said, we've already had one SEC road game this year. Very, very tough environment. Arguably tougher than Jordan-Hare this weekend. But, yeah. I don't know where I was going with that.
No, I agree, man. I think Gunner's going to be comfortable. I think we're going to move the pocket for him, and I like his ability when you're able to move the pocket with him and still be able to push the ball downfield and complement it with the running game as well. And his ability to run the football and what that adds, just we've talked about it before, putting in designs, quarterback power, quarterback draws, man, that I think we'll see Saturday night will be huge in some situations, and I think Gunner Stockton will have a good game. And, this is a team where he was leaning towards going. When Bobo was there as well. So this is going to be a game for him, of course. I mean, every game he wants to win, of course. But this is going to be a big test for him and this whole offense. And I'm excited. I think they're going to answer the bell. I'm not concerned about the offense side of the football in this game.
I hope you're right. Yeah, I mean, I'm not either walking like right now thinking about it. No. Let me ask you this. How many points do you think we have to have in order to win this game?
28.
28. Interesting. Okay.
28.
All right.
I'm going to go with 28.
Okay. I think that's fair. Yeah, I mean, 28 should win you most, not all football games, most.
I'd be safe. I would feel really good 35.
Yeah, me too.
Really good 35, man. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
That's just me personally. People might think I'm an idiot for saying that. What about you? What do you think?
I think about, man, it's tough. It's tough because we're about to talk about Auburn's offense here in a little bit. Part of me thinks this will be a shootout, and the other part of me, it could be a defensive slugfest. I mean, that's just kind of how these games sometimes go.
You're right. It could be a 17-10.
Yeah.
21-17, 21-20 type game, or it could be 41-35. Yeah. I really, I mean, it could potentially. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a blowout either way, by any means.
Yeah, I don't either. Auburn's defense, last note about them, they rank 38th in FBS in total defense. They allow about 315 yards per game, give or take. So, yeah. I mean, they do their job pretty well defensively, and they've gone against some pretty decent, pretty good offenses in Texas A&M and Oklahoma. So, the others, I don't know about Baylor so much. I definitely, there's nothing much you can say about Southern or South Alabama and then Ball State. But, Oklahoma with Mateer and then A&M with Marcel Reed, both of those teams have a really good rushing attack. And so, I don't know. I mean, they handled those pretty well, I'd say, defensively.
Man.
I don't think the defense was a problem or the problem in those games.
No, and two quarterbacks who have played well this year. I mean, Marcel Reed has really come on this year. Mateer had a broken hand the majority of the game, but yeah, I mean, both of those teams to what was the?
They held Oklahoma to 24 and A&M to 16. So.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely a respectable defense. I feel like.
Yep. Just
you can't take lightly. But a defense on the flip side that this Georgia offense has showed me that I feel like we could definitely have success and move the football and put some points on the board.
I think you're right
as well.
Yep. Let's go to the other side of the football. Let's talk about Georgia's defense versus Auburn.
God, I got nervous, Clark.
Oh, it's all right.
Anytime we go there, man. Anytime. Even though we've had a lot of good memories, a lot of good success, it just.
All right, so let's talk about Auburn's offense here. They rank 106th in FBS in total offense. You look at that, you think, yeah, they suck. 342 yards per game on average, which, not super high. It's pretty subpar, to be honest with you. But then Josh Pate says this a lot. If you ever listen to Josh Pate, great podcast, you need to listen to him as well. But he says all the time, just because it hasn't happened doesn't mean it can't happen, right? So just because the lights have not turned on for this Auburn offense yet, really, doesn't mean it can't, and it won't happen this Saturday. There's a very realistic chance, I think, that, look, Hugh Freeze is going to have a game plan against Georgia.
Always does against Kirby and Nick Saban, 3-4 type defense.
Yeah. And I fully expect them, I think they've been trying a little too much to get the ball in the hands of Cam Coleman, one of their elite receivers, and Singleton and these guys. And obviously you want to do that as much as you can. Yeah. But I think they have done that at the expense of, having success running the ball consistently, keep leaning on that throughout the game. And so this game, if I'm Kirby, I'm probably thinking, all right, they're probably going to try to run the ball. Though we have a really, really good run defense, they are not going to give up on the run, just as Georgia's not going to give up on the run. So I fully expect them to start scheming a lot of – and you're going to see a lot of screens. You're going to see a lot of, same kinds of things that we run. Get the ball to your playmakers out on the perimeter, but do it quickly, right? Yeah. Don't sit back in the pocket because, as we have seen with this Auburn team this season, if you sit back in the pocket too long – the pressure, and I know Georgia fans are like, well, we don't get pressure. The pressure will get home. Okay, so my thing is, if you're Georgia, you stop the run. Right. We sound like a broken record on this podcast as many times as we say this. But you stop the run, and then I really will feel confident in this Georgia defense being able to get to Jackson Arnold.
Yeah, and you're going to see Jackson Arnold also, like we just talked about with Gunnar Stockton, a lot of design quarterback runs with him as well, a guy who can hurt you with your legs. I mean, I would venture to say will be the most athletic dual threat type quarterback that we've seen so far.
This season? Oh, yeah, by far.
This season. So definitely one that if you don't get home and you do have, some good coverage downfield, that if he's able to break containment, he'll hurt you with your legs all night. Feel like so it's going to be able not to over pursue and create these holes, and him be able to step up in the pocket and shoot up the middle and scamper around. And I mean, that's that's so demoralizing to me, man, is when it's like 3rd and 9 and you got good coverage on the back end, especially with how our secondary's kind of been here. So to have them be able to defend it well downfield, and then you over pursue on the ends, and then he's able to step up in the pocket and scamper for about 14, 15 yards to pick up an extended drive, right, with a first down like that. And that's what he could do if you're not able to just collapse the pocket on him, keep them contained, and get home. Yeah. Right. So, but he's one that he could get rattled fast. I think that he is a talented guy, Clark, but I think dating back to last year and it's carried on to this year that there's still some stuff in between the ears that I feel like Glenn Schumann and Kirby Smart and this defense staff can dial it up. That can confuse him and get him rattled. So I feel like if you get to him early on, and it could get into his head, man, and then the crowd can really start kind of getting a little bit irritated with him, I feel like, as well. I think that's where they're at right now with Jackson Arnold, and unsure at Auburn. But like you said, Clark, just because it hadn't happened doesn't mean that it can't happen with him. And just how college football has a funny way, and SEC games, rivalry games at night for just stars to align for one specific night. And that's what we talked about this summer. It's not that I'm scared of Jackson Arnold, but what I'm scared about is all of a sudden he have his career day against Georgia at home, primetime game. Yeah. And that's just kind of stuff that happens in college football. And if that happens, you just got to tip your hat, man. Yeah. I mean, it happens. But yeah. So that makes me nervous, and of course the talent they have at receiver. So yeah. Well,
one thing I noticed too about Jackson Arnold, one thing I think we can do as a defense to disrupt him and sort of to get in his head a little bit. I noticed this with the Oklahoma game. Maybe I just didn't watch enough Jackson Arnold, but what I was seeing a lot of, man, he stares down some receivers. Like it is a one read kind of a thing. Mostly for Jackson Arnold, at least in that game, the few plays I watched, maybe I just didn't watch enough of them. But what I watched was he really was staring down some guys. And, I think that's good because if you're Georgia, that's really good. That means you can start getting your hands up in the air if you're a defensive tackle. You can't get to the quarterback. Well, dadgummit, put your hands in the air. Bat the ball down. Stuff like that is how you can start winning drives back and, putting the ball back into the hands of the offense. Another thing is, too, which is very surprising, this does not really coincide well with what I just said, but Jackson Arnold actually has not even thrown an interception this year. I think he's the only SEC quarterback who has not thrown one pick the whole season. Yeah. So a little fun fact for you guys. If we get one this week, just know that Georgia was the first to do it against Jackson Arnold.
That's a great fact there.
Yeah.
Great statistic there, Clark.
He has 846 passing yards on the season. 64.9 completion percentage, 5 touchdowns through the air. He also has 192 rushing yards, making him the second leading rusher, and then 5 touchdowns on the ground. So, yeah, I mean, they use him. He's very versatile. He's a very athletic guy, and he's got plenty of weapons around him, too. I mean,
absolutely.
Auburn's receiver room, it's up there.
This is a little bit of Munson, and there's a difference. I know we talked about everybody needs to be optimistic, glass half full, and I am. But this is the kind of just the little Munson, we could do it, but just stars align and just kind of makes you a little bit nervous, and that's what makes me nervous right there. Is the talent is there, and if everything does just go right for them, it could be a long night. But again, that's one of those things that you just got to tip your hat to them if that happens in that environment. But I feel good about, I think maybe we'll see some changes in personnel as far as more people getting more snaps, and I think that's something that needs to be looked at. In my opinion, people can call me an idiot in the inside linebacker room. I think number 19, I think Justin Williams needs more snaps. I think there's more sideline speed, especially, Clark, if you said these guys are going to be trying to get some quick screens, get their playmakers out there.
Yeah.
If Jackson Arnold gets to the second level, I feel like Chris Cole should be moved to inside linebacker and get more snaps on the inside too, because I think he's looked better to me in coverage situations as well. So, I mean, that's not taken away from the other guys in that room because they're very talented as well. But I'd love to see number 19, especially get more snaps, and then maybe use Chris Cole in different ways and have more snaps and be more on the inside linebacker position as well too.
Yeah. I think you're right, Adam. They're definitely going to get the ball out quick, out on the perimeter. We got to get there. A lot of that, comes down to how quickly Dalen Everett can get off a block, how quickly Joe Nell and DeMello Jones and Ellis, and how quickly we can get guys, from that third level downhill making tackles. But
I'm sorry. You just know that, though, Hugh Freeze, after what's seeing, that he's going to be dialing up crossing routes, mesh concepts in the middle of the field, too. Yeah. And that's one thing that we do have to defend better, handing off wide receivers and then our linebackers covering as well.
Yeah.
Better. And I don't know.
Going to need some good communication for sure. They got guys like Eric Singleton Jr. Obviously, if you recognize that name, you kind of remember that. If it sounds familiar, it should, because last year he was at Georgia Tech and he had a really good game against Georgia, actually. Slot guy, very speedy. He's actually their leading receiver as well. 27 receptions, 265 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Very, very quick. Not huge. I think he's only like 5'10" or something, but Eric Singleton, man, he's impressed me, not only this year, but last year too at Tech. And then obviously kind of the elephant in the room, Cam Coleman, sophomore receiver. Dude, this guy's a freak. He is a freak athlete, big body, 6'3", 17 receptions, 255 yards on the season, and 2 touchdowns as well. Cam Coleman's a freak.
Yeah.
I mean, no doubt about it.
There's no doubt. I mean, you're going to have Dalen Everett.
Yeah.
Really, on his A game, at least you have a cornerback like him. I want to say this too, clear up something we talked about last episode. Daniel Harris is battling an injury.
He is
the recording, well, good. So he is. So
okay.
I think, but still, I think you're going to see Ellis Robinson and mixed in with some DeMello Jones on the opposite side of Dalen Everett, and it's going to be like every time you play against SEC opponents, but especially against this wide receiver group, going to have some days out of all of them, man, and all of them be on their A game. Another guy, Clark, that we were texting about in the group message earlier is on the outside linebacker space. Chris Jones had a good day against Kentucky last week. That's one we really didn't mention, but he was able to really, I mean, I think Davin Bellamy did a thing really giving him some hype as well. Davin's putting out some good stuff. Of course, played the outside linebacker position, man, so he knows what he's talking about there. Really high praise for Chris Jones and his ability to get off blocks there and get some quarterback hurries when he was in. So I'm interested to see if we see a little bit more of a personnel change and some of these younger guys that we hadn't seen. Well, we have seen, but get a higher percentage of snaps.
Yeah.
And what that does.
Yeah.
Going into,
for sure.
Saturday night.
I mean, just in the same way that you can add in offensive wrinkles, you can also add in some defensive wrinkles too.
Correct.
That, some new looks and new coverages that an offense is not going to be aware of, heading into the matchup. So that's big. Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, definitely be on the lookout for that, who you're seeing at linebacker specifically.
The other safety. I mean, who knows at this point? I mean,
it's a wild card.
It's going to be interesting to see opposite of KJ Bolden, who's going to get the bulk of the snaps there. Is Adrian Maddox some guy? Is he going to get more, or Ja'Cory Thomas? Or are they going to keep going back with Kyron Jones starting? A lot of stuff to look at and to observe during the game defensively.
Yeah. Another guy that they're going to see, or you're going to see get the ball a lot on this Auburn offense is Jeremiah Cobb. He's their leading rusher. Mm-hmm. He has 58 carries, 403 yards on the season, averaging 6.9 yards a carry with 4 touchdowns. Really good back, man. He breaks through arm tackles really well. If you go back to Oklahoma, there's one play that I'm specifically talking about. I mean, he breaks like 5 arm tackles, and you gotta hit him and you gotta get him down. Right.
Yeah.
And that can't be an issue that we are talking about at the end of the game Saturday tackling wasn't good. If tackling's not good Saturday, we're in trouble.
Oh, we're in trouble.
Because this guy right here, I mean, he's going to be toting the ball a lot. Very athletic guy. And, a few more notes here right quick, and then we'll kind of move on. Georgia, I thought this was interesting. Georgia has the 6th best red zone defense in America. All right?
Good.
6th best. That's pretty daggone good. Auburn has the nation's best red zone offense.
Wow.
They are 14 for 14, 10 touchdowns, and 4 field goals. So when they do get into the red zone, they're going to score. I mean, statistically, they have scored 100% of the time this year. So something sort of has to give there. Hopefully we keep them out of the red zone as much as possible, but, they're probably going to get theirs here and there. But I think Georgia's really good at bowing up when they get in the red zone, and we'll see.
That's right.
That's a matchup to look for. Also, Auburn. This is a good one. Auburn has allowed 21 sacks through 5 games, folks. That's terrible.
Yeah,
I mean, 10 of those did come in the Auburn game, the Oklahoma Auburn game. But 21 sacks through 5, that's terrible.
Yeah, struggling on the offensive line there in Opelika, and if this is a game where you get your defensive line, build some momentum, some confidence with what the narrative's been with them all season. This is the offensive line to get after, man. And it would be nice to see us be able to accumulate some sacks, but really just some quarterback hurries, rush some throws, man, and be able to disrupt Jackson Arnold, not let him get comfortable. And obviously that's going to be a key.
Yep. We will see. We will see.
You
This
should
is
against
a
this
fun game,
offensive
though.
line. You should. With the talent there at the University of Georgia on the defense side of the football, and the way Auburn's been on the offensive line this year, this should be a matchup where Georgia should be able to have some success in the trenches on both sides of the football, but especially on the defensive line against this Auburn O-line.
Yeah. Well, that pretty much wraps it up for the Auburn preview. We'll have some score predictions here in a little bit. Going to be a good game. Going to be a lot of fun.
It is.
Hopefully it's going to be a lot of fun walking out of the stadium, singing "It's Great to Be a Georgia Bull."
Oh,
that's a good one.
I love it, man.
And just UGA, and then calling the Dawgs. There's nothing more satisfying than walking out
on
of
the road.
any stadium.
Yeah.
Yes.
But especially against a rival on the road.
Agreed. Man, I hope we're doing that Saturday night.
I do too, Clark. I do too. This is why we love it, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be a war.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Got to play all 4 quarters. All righty, let's move on to some other Week 7 games. We got some good ones here, good ranked matchups. I think there's going to be a lot happening in college football this week. And when I say that, I mean there's going to be several upsets.
You think so?
I think. And I hope, I pray that we're not one of them. We could be, but I don't know. Let's talk about some other games here, though. Number 1, Ohio State travels on the road to number 17, Illinois. 12 o'clock Fox. Ohio State favored by 14.5.
Big noon.
Big noon kickoff.
Big noon kickoff in Champaign. Champaign getting some marquee games at the 12 o'clock hour the past couple of weeks. Hosted Lincoln Riley's Trojans, got the best of them the other week. So, I mean, Champaign, Illinois, one of college football's toughest places to play, right?
Oh, yeah.
Just
electric.
Brett Bleem has done a great job up there, man, and I'll go ahead and just say it. I think Ohio State's one of the top 3 teams, or the best team in the country. Obviously, they're number 1. Their defense under Matt Patricia has looked great this year, and their wide receiver group's just talented. I think they're just too talented. I think they go up there and beat Illinois.
Yeah, I'm with you there, but I do think it's a little bit closer. I don't think Ohio State will cover. 14.5 is pretty hefty in my opinion, but I mean, then again, Indiana went in there and blitzed them.
I think that was in Bloomington, but nonetheless, the same team,
yeah,
the same team, and just blitzed them.
That is true. Yeah, give me Ohio State. So we're both in agreement there.
Yep.
Let me record that.
Yep.
All right, the next game, SEC matchup. I don't think a lot of people know that this game is going to be played this weekend.
No. And then I don't think people have been paying attention to the Missouri Tigers this week.
Right.
Or this year.
Or this at all, yeah. Number 8, Alabama, goes on the road to Columbia, Missouri. What a dump of a place, honestly. Number 8, Alabama. Number 14, Mizzou. 12 o'clock, ABC. Alabama is favored by 2.5 points. If there's going to be an upset in the SEC, other than Georgia-Auburn, I think it's this one right here.
Yeah. I ain't got to watch much of Missouri this year, but Eli Drinkwitz has done a phenomenal job with that program, I feel like. Mm-hmm. And obviously a guy that has definitely come up the past few weeks, and we talked about in the offseason, but even more so looming large, the departure that we had of Damon Wilson, the outside linebacker position he's done. I think, had a pretty good year so far at Missouri. So he'll be on that Missouri defense. Their quarterback has Bo Pribula, I think, has come in there, and Sam Horn got injured. And there was a quarterback competition at the beginning of the year, but, of course, it's Bo's team now. And Missouri's done well spending on NIL front. So there's some talent up there. 12 o'clock game in Missouri, man. Alabama coming off 2 emotional wins. I know at Vanderbilt was a emotional game with the whole Diego Pavia deal, Johnny Manziel there, all that stuff, man. Theo Vaughn, all that stuff. And I mean, it was a big day in Tuscaloosa, and of course, them beating Georgia on the road. And can they get up? And can DeBoer get them up a third week going on the road to Missouri against a hungry Missouri team? I feel like would be a monstrous win for Eli Drinkwitz. And honestly, if Missouri wins this game, watch out for them being in Atlanta potentially, right? So, big game with SEC championship implications, man. But I think it's close, but I think Alabama pulls away in the second half. I just think Ty Simpson's just playing just elite football right now, and Jam Miller back, and I think they'll be able to pull away in the second half, kind of similar to what they did against Vanderbilt.
Interesting, Adam. See, my gut reaction says Alabama's going to win, but Adam, I don't know. I've got this other side of my gut that's saying take Missouri.
I'm taking
Missouri.
I can see it.
I don't know.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I don't like you. I haven't watched a whole lot of Missouri football this year. They haven't really played anybody with a pulse. I mean, they've beaten Central, Arkansas, Kansas, yeah, they're respectable. Louisiana Lafayette, or Louisiana, whatever, University of Louisiana. South Carolina, that was kind of a struggle win, 29-20, and then UMass. So, I mean, like, aside from South Carolina, they really haven't played any stout competition, I'd say.
Right.
And with that said, I mean, I don't know. Like, that's part of me. That's the what am I trying to say? On paper, yeah, Alabama should win this game, but football's not won on paper. Give me Missouri. I don't know how. You know what? I think they get a little bit better of a pass rush than Georgia ever could on this Alabama offensive line. Maybe Damon Wilson gets home to Ty Simpson and, strip sack, and I don't know. Stuff like that is what I'm kind of expecting in this game. And, I just also want to see Alabama go down. So it's kind of
I do thinking. Too, man. And I wish it wasn't 11 a.m. local kickoff there in Columbia, Missouri. But it'll be fun for us to watch, going to Auburn.
Yeah, very true. All right, moving on here. Number 7, Indiana and Oregon. Number 3, Oregon. Indiana at Oregon. This is your college game day game right here. Oregon is favored by 7.5 points. This game is 3:30 CBS. Should we do it?
It don't feel right.
No.
It doesn't feel. We should retire that. Never again.
Never again.
Indiana, Oregon. I think we're reminiscing on a bum.
Because this would be the bum game.
This would be the bum game.
Georgia-Auburn.
Yeah, it would. Traditionally, it has always been the bum game. And I think we were missing that. We just got caught up in the moment right there, Clark.
Yeah.
But no Big Ten teams ever deserve a bum from
Never.
us. But, man, I hadn't done a bum in a while. That was a little bit strenuous on the old vocal cords right there. I had to knock off the whole rust on that one. But, yeah, this is a fun matchup to me.
Mm-hmm. Indiana, Oregon. Oregon is favored 7.5 points, obviously, in Eugene,
correct. Yep. Attaboy.
You think they're going to do like a yellow out or something over there?
I'm sure they'll do something crazy. Have some type of just wild, just uniform design. I'm sure Dan Lannon might ride out on the motorcycle with the duck, and all will be just wild in Autzen Stadium, right?
Yeah. Did you, going back, talking about Dan Lanning, did you see that hype video that the Oregon football team put out?
God, I love Dan Lanning.
Oh, my gosh. I got chills, man. It almost made me an
Dan
Oregon
Lanning,
fan.
Man. Love Dan Lanning.
Adam, go ahead and pick this one.
First off, have you seen, this is what I was talking about earlier, but this is a good little part right here. Just throw this in real quick. Did you see that Chad Powers series that's coming out?
Yeah.
Well, I kind of perusing through YouTube, kind of spoiler alert, he winds up playing for Oregon.
Oh, okay.
You know who they play in like the national championship?
Georgia.
In the Rose Bowl?
Georgia. Yeah, I saw that.
And then it was like the end of the game. He's running for a touchdown and drops the ball at the 1 yard line, and Georgia picks it up, takes it back all the way to win the game.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and the clip I saw, that's what happened. I don't know if something else happened, but that's what it appeared to me. And I thought, if this was real life and that truly happened in Pasadena, California for a national championship, or I don't know, it might have been a playoff semifinal game. Either way, they had the gold Nike check on, the playoff logo on the field, and we were about to lose the game, but the quarterback drops the ball at the 1, and we pick it up and take it back 99 yards. You would have to do cardiac arrest on me to get me back, to resuscitate me.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Like that's all. I mean, that's a sick feeling. That shows how sick my mind is, Clark, in the sense of, this is just entertainment right here. Everybody just laughing. But I'm thinking, what if this was real life?
Yeah,
You'd
be dead.
I'd be just sprawled out on the old Rose Bowl. I have to go to Pasadena Memorial Hospital.
Memorial.
I'd be dang sprawled out on the bleachers there, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, I had to throw that in there. I saw that, I think, this morning when I was going through. I was like, what is this? Then I started connecting the dots. And I was like, man.
Yeah. You remember they filmed part of that in Sanford Stadium. I think it was 2023. Can't remember.
Mississippi State game.
Mississippi State.
Halftime.
Yeah,
but he wasn't with it was with the Georgia State Mudcats or something.
Right.
But apparently he gets an NIL deal from old Phil Nike and goes to Oregon, I guess. I haven't watched the show. I just saw that snippet where he played against Georgia in a playoff game of the national championship at the freaking Rose Bowl when Georgia won at the tail end.
Well, folks, there's your
wild time.
There's your free plug to Chad Powers right there. Go watch it, I guess.
I guess. I'm going to have to go watch that to see how that happened.
Me too.
Or what happened, but anyway.
All right, go back to this game, though. Indiana, Oregon. Who do you like, Adam?
Give me the Oregon Ducks, man. In Autzen Stadium, tough place to play. Oregon's defense. I'm very interested, though, to see this Dan Lannon defense versus this Kirk Cignetti offense, man. The Mendoza kid that transferred from Cal that actually flirted with Georgia for a little bit. Potentially was going to come to Athens there for a little bit, but went to Indiana. Has done a great job in Cignetti's system. Indiana's playing great for a second year in a row. If they come and if they win in Autzen, man, you're going to have to say they're for real. And I can't imagine what Cignetti's press conference will be after, because he's a very colorful guy too. So I think Oregon wins this game, but I'm excited about it, man. I think Lannon's defense versus Cignetti's offense is going to be a fun storyline to keep up with Saturday afternoon.
I'm with you. I'm taking Oregon here. Just going with Oregon.
Okay.
Safe bet, I think.
12 a.m. local kick.
Yeah, 12:30.
12 p.m., excuse me. 12:30 p.m. Local kick there.
There you go. All right, next game here, the Red River Rivalry or Shootout, whatever you want to say.
All right.
Oklahoma versus Texas. Number 6, Oklahoma versus Texas. Listen to this. Texas is favored by 1.5 points here. 3:30 ABC out in the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah, that would be a fun one to go to.
Yeah, we say that every year.
I mean, I'll never get to make it out there because I'll be at a Georgia game. If I'm going to a college football game, I'm going to go to a Georgia game, right? So I'm not going to go to the freaking Red River Shootout and miss a Georgia game. But it seems like it's a heck of a venue from the videos you see, from the people who go, man. The Texas State Fair, similar to Georgia-Florida, 50-50 stadium. Big-time rivalry, second year in the SEC, both programs right now, their season's trending in different directions, Clark. But it is SEC football. It's college football. It's wild. One team's in wounded animal mode. One team's playmaking quarterbacks banged up a little bit. And give me the Texas Longhorns rebounding after a tough loss in Gainesville, Florida, to win in the Cotton Bowl against Oklahoma in a thriller.
Wow. Dang. I like that pick. I mean, that's a bold pick. Coming into today, or this show, I should say, I was going to take Texas, but you know what? I'm going to go opposite of you. I'm going to take Oklahoma. Defense wins this game.
Good pick.
Give me Oklahoma for the win.
I mean, there's no reason on paper why Texas should win this football game. If you just look at the product on the field, how Arch is struggling, and add what Oklahoma's defense has done all year. But I just think it's going to be a low-scoring affair, and Texas somehow win. But, I mean, if there's a healthy – I don't know if Mateer's playing or not. If he's not, there's no way he could be 100%. I don't think he is anyway. But I think that would definitely swing my pick in the opposite direction if you had a healthy Mateer, and you hate that. But it is what it is. That's college football, man. Give me the Longhorns.
All right. Next up, we got Florida at number 5, Texas A&M, 7 o'clock ABC. A&M is favored by 7.5. Not as big of a spread as you'd probably expect here. Florida looked really good last week over Texas, obviously.
They did.
Do they go on the road and beat another Texas team?
I'll let you pick this first.
Nah, give me A&M. I think the crowd's going to be rocking. I'm not pulling for Florida. I hate Florida. It would be funny to see Florida knock off A&M, but I think A&M is a really, really good football team.
You know, it would be funny to see Florida beat A&M and then Billy getting some support, like Billy winning his job back. But then you have some conflicted Gators down there.
Right.
Like they're ready to push him out the door.
Exactly.
But what if he starts ripping off top 10 wins, except in Jacksonville? Then Georgia beats them, but then he beats Ole Miss again, and you get in the same conundrum you were in last year,
right?
Where Billy is, 7-5. I don't know what his record would be then, 6-6, whatever. But he's gotten like 3 top 10 wins or 3 top 15 wins against like Ole Miss, A&M, and Texas or so. And I love the fact they're letting them stick around to even make that a possibility to get just even more turmoil in Gainesville. I'm all for turmoil in Gainesville. I hope it's just an awful feeling down there when it comes to where their football program is. And I hope Billy does enough just to keep his head above water and keep his job. And but I'm with you, Clark. Kyle Field at night, man. A&M, a lot of momentum. They're fired up down there. Give me A&M in probably a similar game to how they beat Mississippi State. Pretty close there in the first half, and then A&M pulls away in the second half.
Could definitely see that.
Couple possession win.
Yeah. All right, number 15, Michigan at USC. Thought this would be a fun one to pick.
Why not?
7:30 NBC. We got a ranked opponent going to an unranked opponent. You always got to take these kind of games.
Ooh.
USC is favored despite being unranked. They're favored by 2.5 points. It's going to be a really interesting game. I'm not going to watch it just because Auburn is going on at the exact same time.
Exact minute.
Yeah, this will be a 4:30 local kick.
All right.
You think the LA people are going to get up for this one?
Oh, just juice, because the culture of Los Angeles lives, eats, and breathes college football.
Yeah.
2 guys in the middle of LA right now are doing a podcast right now getting fired up about some Trojan football.
There probably is a USC Trojan
I'm sure
podcast.
They're in a high rise in the middle of the smog. They got to make sure their windows are closed, not getting any good fresh air.
Right.
And pumping up some Southern Cal football. Good for them, Clark.
Yeah.
Good for them, right?
Yeah.
Traditional matchup. Blue Bloods,
not modern day Blue Bloods. I mean, I guess you could consider Michigan
overalls. But
overall.
The people will say that, right? And Michigan beat them in the Big House last year.
Yes.
Lincoln Riley pulling one out here, Clark.
Oh.
Give me the Southern California Trojans. Michigan having to travel to the other side of the country for this game. Lincoln Riley needs this one. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why. I just think they might put up some points and win this game, and I think that's crazy, but I think they will.
Man, Adam, you almost got me wanting to pick USC here. We need to start an acapella group.
Oh, we could. I really enjoy that fight song. I always have.
I'm going to tell you something.
Always have.
USC's band is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
They play Tusk by Fleetwood Mac. You know that song?
No.
I can't bump. It would take too long. But Tusk, you need to go. That's just great, man. How do you not know Tusk by Fleetwood
I probably
Mac?
do if I heard it. I mean, I like some Fleetwood Mac stuff. They're all right. Yeah, I mean, I like. Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, they got a great band. I think I said this last year on a podcast, but Neil Gaines, shout out to my dad. I don't think he listens to any episodes. He follows us. He watches all of our reels and everything.
I appreciate that.
But Neil Gaines used to be our middle school head football coach, and he made us walk out to the USC fight song.
Did he?
In middle school.
That's great.
It was hilarious.
That's
I was
hilarious.
like, man, this doesn't fit our.
But
we were the Cubs, not the Trojans.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
whatever.
Well, good.
Oh wait, I still got to pick this
Yeah,
game.
the Cardinal of Gold, Clark.
God.
Going back to the days of Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush, and Pete Carroll for one night in the Coliseum.
All right, now you brought up Reggie Bush's name. That's my favorite running back of all time, behind Herschel Walker and Todd Gurley, Nick Chubb, Sonny Michel. Long list of non-dog. Yes.
That, yeah.
You know what? I'm taking USC.
There
too.
we go, Clark.
Vegas knows something
There we
that I
go.
don't know. I haven't.
There
watched,
we go.
I don't know if I've watched 10 combined snaps between either of these two teams.
I
this year.
did.
You did?
The USC Michigan State when I had some money riding
Yes,
on my one and only time gambling on a college football game wound
Yeah.
up being an 11 o'clock p.m. kick between Michigan State and USC, and I lost
10 whole dollars. Gone.
10 whole dollars gone.
You're a degenerate gambler. Yeah. All right.
Great slate, man.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Middle of college football season. It's here.
Well, folks, if you have enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. It helps us grow this Georgia football community. If you're watching on YouTube, comment below your score prediction for Georgia versus Auburn for this week's game. If you're coming to the game, if you are going out to Opelika,
Yeah.
you need to message us and see
do.
if we can meet up or something. We'd love to do that. Yeah, it's going to be a great game.
We're
Adam and
black.
we're black. We're wearing black. And the reason we're wearing black, I
Right.
think people may have caught on to this last week. If not, basically they're doing an orange out, right?
Right.
They want the red and the orange to blend in which it does in that stadium.
It does. Very much
So
so.
if you're going to this, wear black, not white, black.
Black.
Yep.
Yes.
Make sure
100%.
there's a Georgia logo on it.
Yeah,
though.
and wear your red hat if you're a guy that likes to wear some headwear.
Sure.
So that'd be good. Yeah, but put a G on a black shirt, man, and wear a red hat if you want to. But I think that'd be good if we can get the fan base to wear black to this game to stand out.
Yeah,
Counter 'em.
I'm with you.
I like that. Old chess match
Yes.
because they think we're going to all wear red, but we start a movement to wear black.
I like it. Oh,
Some
man.
Auburn athletic department and their 21-year-old intern pumping this propaganda out.
Oh, boy. Yep, fun game on the horizon. Georgia versus Auburn,
Gotta watch
7:30.
out with those interns, though. No, I hear female interns.
Just
from
ask
past
Brian
regime.
Harsin.
Yeah, and I mean, Lord knows, I'm not.
Nah, don't even go that route. Nah, don't go that route.
Sorry, guys. No, I think that was false too. They did him dirty. They did that man dirty.
Brian Harsin.
Yeah, they did. Just a ridiculous. I mean, the things they do to try to sell their soul to win football games and have for many years. Pat Dye's cabin, the Cam Newton saga, a lot of dirty, unmoral stuff that's going on.
Gene Chizik paying
Plains.
Cam Newton $80,000 to play football.
Well, I mean, you know, at Mississippi State, man, they paid him $180, and that's what came out, and we have no idea what they offered him at Pat Dye's cabin. No idea what, but you know, and now obviously it's running rampant, but that's the way it was intended to be, is under the table money and you Trans Ams and stuff.
Yep.
Just good old under the table handshakes, man, delivering money. That's when college football was pure.
Yeah, that's good.
Not
Good
now,
times.
not all this mess we got going on with the new regime.
Yeah. Go back to the under the table
Go
deals.
back to under the table and car dealership driving a new I don't know. I always like going to a Trans Am from back in the early 80s. That's my favorite reference. But anyway, sorry, I'm off the rails with that one.
All right, folks. Georgia versus Auburn, 7:30 ABC.
Woo!
This Saturday night, your Georgia Bulldogs, they're going to be in the white tops, the silver breeches,
Yes.
the red helmets. Gosh, man, that's such a clean look. I love Georgia's road jerseys.
I do too.
There's something about them, man.
They're clean, man. They're clean, especially because those red helmets they just glisten.
They do.
They just glisten on the road more, you know. And I wish we still had just actual silver breeches, but the gray pants look good with the white tops as well. So, yeah.
Yep. All right, Adam. Score predictions. Man, I have edited. I have changed the score prediction several times, but I think I like this one. This one seems about right to me. Give me the Dawgs 31-24. I think a lot is going to happen in this game, both offensively and defensively. We're going to find a lot out about this team, this Georgia football team in Jordan-Hare Stadium this Saturday night. So give me the Dawgs 31-24. Big 7-point victory. Look out. We're going to get a big turnover in this one.
I love it, man. This game has my stomach in knots, Clark. And I fully expect, because if you've listened to this podcast long enough and you've been to a big Georgia football game with me during pivotal moments during games, I do not like to watch Georgia punt returns because I hate the idea of seeing Georgia muff a punt. And I think this game is going to be a close one where I'm going to be closing my eyes during a lot of punt returns because I get nervous during punt returns. So I think that's going to be one of these type of games, man. But I get thinking about it. I picked this as Georgia's lone loss in my schedule, season prediction, preseason prediction. And, man, when it comes down to it, I've never picked Georgia to lose a game on this podcast at the end here. I can't do it, man.
Good.
Just think about it. The memories you have coming out of Jordan-Hare Stadium, what we do, we are the black cloud over all of our rivals' fan bases, excluding Alabama. But how you feel about Georgia and Alabama and where we've been with them is what Tennessee, Auburn, Florida, Georgia Tech, all these other teams feel about Georgia, man. And that's going to continue. That's going to be the talking point for Auburn fans as they're coming out of their stadium Saturdays. Man, we just can't get over the hump with Georgia. That is 9 straight against them. We have got to do something. We got to get rid of Freeze. They're going to be starting to question Hugh Freeze. But it's going to be a close game, man. Georgia's going to win this football game 28-24. Woo! I can't wait. Hopefully it's a nice cold night in Auburn and kind of reminiscent of those just mid-November traditional games that we love. Nothing better than the Deep South's oldest rivalry tradition, man. A lot of families going to be at odds with each other, and this is what college football is all about in the South, is these games right here, man. We're going to find out a lot about the rest of the season after Saturday night. Buckle up for it. We'll be here ready to roll. Get rowdy at home, like always. Wear black Saturday, baby. Even if you're at home, wear black. We love y'all, baby. It's time. Go Dogs!
Go Dogs! Ooh, 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 ooh.